Hello and welcome to our training video on the Emergency Contact Management System. This system is for facilities to view and manage their contact information for the Department of Environmental Protection. This system is invite only, so this means that if your facility already has access to the system, your administrator will need to send you an invite in order to create an account. If no one at your facility is set up to be an administrator of your facility's account at this time, you would want to go to Request Access and submit our contact form here. So that way you can request access to the facilities that you need access to. You can specify what department they're for, what role you should have, whether it be an administrative or a regular role, and list the facilities you're responsible for. If you have the facility ID, we do recommend you include it on this form. Once submitted, DEP will be able to review and send you an invite if you are supposed to have access to the system. Once you receive an invite, you'll receive a link in the invite that you can click in order to set up your account. You'll also see the facilities that you're being invited to have an account for in the email. The email also has an attachment on how to set up your account, but in this case, we're going to go over it. So I'm not going to go over the document with you. I'll just show you. So once you get to the system with your invite, you should see the list of facilities that you've been invited to access. Now, all you have to do is fill out your account information and start creating your account. This information is not going to be the same as the contact information for your facility. In fact, as a user of the system, you don't even need to be a contact in order to be a user. The user is the person who's going to be setting up the contact information that DEP is going to use in case of an emergency. The users are just the person who are setting it up. You don't necessarily need to be the same person who's going to be contacted. So once I enter my account information, I'm now going to be asked to set up a My New Jersey account. If I already have one, I can link an existing account. This also works if you have multiple ECMS accounts, multiple facilities. You can link multiples to the same My New Jersey account. In this case, I don't have one, so I'm going to go ahead and set up a new one. Don't forget to choose a challenge question. And a challenge answer. Don't forget there are different requirements for your password, including capital letters, symbols, and things like that. Once you've created your account, you'll be logged into the system. And the first thing that the system is going to ask you is whether you want text notifications. Now, for this system, periodically you'll receive email notifications letting you know when it's time to update your contact information with DEP. You can also opt to receive text notifications of these as well. If you don't want to receive text notifications, make sure to select No Text Notifications. But if you do want to receive text notifications, make sure to select that option. Once you're logged into the system, you'll be presented with a list of the facilities that you have access to. This is called the Facility Search page. Depending on how many facilities you have access to for your account, you may see fewer or more facilities. If you have a lot of facilities, you can limit how many are shown per page and do a search based on facility ID, facility type, program area, and contact information if you know the contact you want to update. In this case, this is our test system. So these are some test facilities and they have no contacts linked. So it's my job to go ahead and enter some contacts. From here, I'm going to hit the edit button and I will be able to edit the contacts on my facility. Note that if DEP sent you a notification to update your contacts, you'll see the notification here. It'll tell you which contacts need to be updated as well. So to add a new contact, you first type in their information. Then you can hit search and the system will see if you already have a contact with the same name in the system. If you can reuse them. In this case, there are no contacts for my facilities here, so I'm going to add him as a new contact. In this case, I'm entering fake information, but you're definitely going to want to enter real information for your contact information here in case of an emergency. If this person was linked to other facilities, you'd see the information listed here. You can have someone listed for multiple locations. However, primary and secondary contacts must be different. From here, I can go ahead and add another contact. In this case, Mary's not in the system either, so we're going to add her as well. Now that I have them saved, you'll notice both primary and secondary are no longer listed as contacts that I need to update. Security contacts are generally considered optional, so if you have one, you can list one, but otherwise you can indicate no changes, and then you'll be considered good to go. Once your notification is gone, you'll know that you're all set with your contacts. Now, if you have multiple facilities, you may want to have the same people as contacts for both. So there's two different ways to do this. One is to go into the facility and search for your contact. You can search by partial names as well. So in this case, we can see Mary is here, and we can just use that contact information to copy it over. If you need to update it, you can update it here, and the system will prompt you to see whether this update should be carried across all the facilities that she's added to, or to create a new contact. In this case, I'm just updating her number, so I'm going to update it for all my facilities. Now I have Mary listed as the primary on this facility. So if I go back, now you see I have Bob and Mary again, but maybe I don't want to do this manually for all of my contacts. In this case, I can use the bulk feature. So as an administrator, I have access to bulk copy. From here, you can select a program area, select any facilities that you want these changes to apply to, and then you go ahead and select a template of contacts that you'd like to apply. So here, I'd like Mary as the primary contact, so I'm going to search for her again. I'm going to go ahead and use her information. I can also see what other facilities she's linked to right now. Then I'm going to enter Bob as our secondary contact. He's also already listed, so I can just go ahead and use him as well. For security, since it's optional, I'm going to leave it blank. Also, if you just need to update primary or just update secondary, you can leave the other slots blank and just select the ones that you need to update. So now I have my two facilities selected. I can search for some if I have a large list and want to narrow it down, but in this case, I only have two. So I'm going to go ahead and have these two selected, my two facilities, and hit Apply Contacts to Facilities. This is going to go ahead and paste that information across both, so now Mary's primary for both and Bob is primary for both. Now these contacts are good and updated for the ECMS system. If you're an administrator and you need to set up an account for someone, you would go ahead and go under Admin, Invite Users. From here, you can go ahead and enter the user type that they need to be, their first name, email address, and last name, and then go ahead and select any facilities that they need access to. You can search by partial name or full name of the facilities. Go ahead and click it and add facility access. From here, you can select whether or not they should also be an administrator with rights to add or remove users, or if they should just be a user that can update contacts. You can add one or more facilities to a user, and they can have multiple facilities assigned to their account. Once you're ready, you go ahead and click Send Invite, and they'll be supplied with an invite with instructions on how to set up in the system as well. If you ever have any issues or struggles with the system, you can go ahead and click Help. This page will give you information on how to contact DEP and our team to get technical help on the system. Thanks for watching, and we hope that you find the Emergency Contact Management System to be very useful in your communication efforts with DEP.